Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Academy's YouTube channel. Here we talk about everything related to language studies for those who are preparing for or learning perhaps French language, Spanish language, German language, or even Chinese language. And we also talk about exam preparations for those who are currently preparing for IELTS preparation, TEF Canada preparation, or even TCF Canada preparation. And if you are the person who is currently working on Canada immigration, then we assist with processing on Canada immigration, especially for permanent residency applications, temporary residency applications like the study visa, the work visa, the permanent residency under express entry and provincial nominee program. We are so sorry for actually starting a little bit late today. Um, this is about 10 minutes past 3 p.m. West African time, and we were meant to start by 3 p.m. So we apologize for actually starting late today. However, today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic. And as you know it, for those that have been with us for quite some time now, you know that every 3 p.m. West African time, we always have our talk with A.O.S Q&A session. And this Q&A session basically is about answering questions that were asked during our JAPA to Canada in 2023 webinar session. Now, today we want to start with the question that was asked by one of our attendees on that particular webinar session. And the question he asked was very much related to occupation, or I'll say professions that quite a lot of people actually have when it comes to relocation abroad. They want to really know about their chances to relocate, especially from Africa, as you understand, as a professional. So that being said, let's not waste any further time. Let's just go down to it. The question was asked, and it was the question 170 in or during our Q&As for the JAPA pack, webinar. The question was asked: as a qualified math teacher based in Africa, what are my chances to get employed and relocate to Canada? And it was asked by Abdulaziz Yakubu from Nigeria. So that's a very good question, Mr. Abdulaziz Yakubu. It's a very good question in the sense that if you want to relocate out of Africa as a teacher, you really need to have some, how would I call it now, some qualifications. Qualifications in the sense that as a teacher, especially if you are a secondary school teacher and you are close to children, do you understand, or teenagers, Canada would like to know that you have a license to actually practice as a teacher, because the teaching profession is one of the regulated professions in Canada. You can't just be a math teacher in Canada without being licensed. You can be a tutor, you understand, without being licensed. There's a difference between a tutor and a teacher, or an instructor and a teacher. I, for instance, I was for a lot of long years, for a lot of years, I was an instructor, a language instructor specifically. I was training people on the English language and even the French language, also preparing students for IELTS exam, TEF Canada and TCF Canada exams for the French based exams. However, I didn't have a license. Do you understand? All I just had was a bachelor's degree in linguistics and some, you understand, professional courses as professional diploma rather for studying and for teaching French language, which is the DELF-DAF, the Diplôme d'études de la langue française, and Diplôme d'approfondie de la langue française. So I just had that. But if you are a math teacher, as you said, a qualified math teacher, I would take it that yes, you have at least the BEd, that is the Bachelor's in Education, you understand, for mathematics, or a niche that is close to that, or MEd, do you understand, Masters in Education, or if you don't even have Masters, I will take it that you have a PGD, do you understand, PGDE, which is the Postgraduate Diploma in Education, or even as little as the NCE, which is the National Certificate of Education. So if you are qualified having one or more of those qualifications, those certifications, then I would say definitely you are qualified as a math teacher as well in Canada, even though you may perhaps really also need to get a license to practice as a teacher in Canada. But that being said, you asked that what are your chances to get employed? There are a lot of chances, and the chances are different based on the levels of teaching you can actually pursue in Canada. If you are an early childhood educator, do you understand? Then you will need to have a license to practice as an early childhood educator in Canada. And that means literally that you are teaching very young children. Do you understand? You are teaching people in their 2, 3, 4 years of what they call it, of education. So those people or those students will definitely be, those pupils will definitely be in the nursery school and the primary level. Do you understand? But if you are taking it a step further and you want to actually get employed in Canada to teach teenagers, do you understand, or people that are just getting to their puberty stage, then you would need to actually go into this junior secondary school, the senior secondary school. And if you want to actually teach adult students, then you would have to go to the colleges or the polytechnics and the universities. So the chances for you to get employed to any of those categories are based on what you have. Do you understand? If you have a bachelor's again or an NC to say the least, then you can actually teach the toddlers, you can teach the young children, the ones in nursery school and primary school. But if you want to teach the secondary school, you understand, student, junior secondary, senior secondary, your chances would actually be dependent on you having at least, do you understand, a bachelor's degree, not an NC in this context, a bachelor's degree, and better still having a PGDE, a postgraduate diploma in education. Lastly, if you want to teach in the level of the college, you understand, the polytechnic or the university, then you may need to actually have what? You may need to have a master's degree to say the least, and a PhD would be best. So your chances are really diverse. The first thing I'll tell you in order to increase your chances is for you to actually create your Canadian approved resume. And this is different from the Nigerian CV we do have, you understand, in our local country. You need to develop the Canadian approved resume. You also need to have some things that would entice the employer in your CV or in your resume. Take, for instance, you have to show the achievements you made. Do you understand? You made in respect to your profession, in respect to your skills and your abilities where you were working initially or where you are still working. You also have to show your competence. If you are a math teacher, then you have to show your competence of the students that you have actually taught and how they have excelled, the percentages of students that have actually been impacted from your knowledge. Do you understand how successful your students have been based on your teachings of the mathematics subject? So now also, if you also want to increase your chances of getting employed, it's very important that you also become tested. Do you understand? Become tested in terms of the standards of teaching in not just Nigeria, not just Africa, but internationally as well. Have you taken some professional certifications or professional courses that are also approved in Canada? That's very important. You also have to check that. Also, your English language, because you would certainly be teaching people, and because you said you are from Nigeria, I would take it that you are an Anglophone just like me. Do you understand? You would certainly be teaching people in one of two or even the both languages, either the English language, which is the official language of Canada, and also the French language, which is the second official language. So you have to take examinations to show that you are proficient, you are eloquent in one of or both of those languages. Do you understand? So you may need to take the I.O.S examination or prepare for the TEF Canada or TCF Canada examination if you speak French and show your competency or your proficiency in those languages. And lastly, if you want to relocate to Canada, then you can relocate by diverse ways. You can relocate either through the work permit. That means you can actually get a temporary work for you to go to Canada to work for maybe a year or two and come back to your home country. Or you could go there permanently Do you understand? Especially with your friend, with your family members, maybe your spouse or and your children, and you could actually go to set up there as a permanent resident. And for that, you may need to actually have clicked a lot of eligibility criteria. If you want to know more about your criteria to actually relocate, either as a temporary resident under the work permit or as a permanent resident under either the express entry, the provincial nominee program, you can actually reach out to us on our website www.A.O.S Academy.com, or you could send us an email on admin@A.O.S Academy.com, or even chat us up on any of our WhatsApp lines, either that or the Nigerian line or the Canadian line. So thank you very much. I do hope you got value from this Q&A session today. If you have any questions, send it to us. You can even chat on this under the comment section of this video, and we'll do justice to it anytime we receive it. So if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit on the notification bar to get updated anytime we drop a content. Like and share this video as well, and we do hope to see you in the next Q&A session. Thank you very much, and bye for now.